Oh, good morning, chat. How are we doing today? Merry belated Christmas to you all. Hope you had a great Christmas. Oh, good morning. Toshin, Got Fuzz. Trenton, guys, welcome in. How are we doing today? Doing good, doing good. I love to hear it, guys. 1 second. Getting ready to go. Just post that we're live over on our social, stuff like that. Give me a second here. I'm copying links, posting them. Copy link. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, Karashan, how we doing? Long time since last live. It's been about a week? Week, chat? It's been about a week. Let's get started. Turn the music down just a smidge, too. Turn the music down just a smidge. How we doing today, guys? I don't know why the overlay is not pulling in chat. Obviously, we are we are live. I don't know why the overlay is not... Let me see if I can refresh the overlay. Maybe it's the... Yeah, that's chat show up right there. I have it. I actually have it says chat show up. Can I refresh the source? Let's refresh the source because chat's not showing up. Chat's a secret tag because we've got chat on everything. I need to eventually get the eventually just need to get the multi chat put up in there. You know what I mean? Because we have people already saying hello over on Kick. We've already had people saying hello over on YouTube. Welcome in, guys. As you do know, we are live now on all 4 platforms here today. Multi-pass, multi-chat, not multi-pass, multi-chat. I actually got to pull up our YouTube chat over here on our TV while I do that in the meantime. I've been doing that recently so I can make sure I see YouTube. I'll see all the all chatter here as well over on the side monitor. But yeah, good morning. My NSP, welcome in. Guys, how are we doing today? How was your Christmas? If you guys follow me on my social media, you know that it was a fun Christmas Eve into the morning. Any holiday decorations as promised? We got a whiteout build here today. We will be doing a New Year's Eve build, probably giveaway next week. Make sure you guys are here for that. I plan on hopefully giving away an MSI 1440p monitor, MSI keyboard and mouse, MSI. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. I don't know the full extent, but we will be giving some stuff away next Wednesday on New Year's Eve. So make sure you're coming in here for that stream. That'll be, again, next Wednesday, probably 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll be doing a lot of good things. Be going away to the community as the year-end love. So make sure you're coming over for that. We just bypass our Twitch anniversary, by the way. I didn't talk about that. So it's kind of go hand in hand. I believe, let me tell you right now, chat, we hit a pretty nice little milestone. We hit, let's see, how many years on Twitch? Let me see real quick. Hold on. Ooh, sorry, that's my voice. Yeah, Junaid's PC. We just hit 96 months, which is 8 years on Twitch, building and streaming PCs. That's crazy, huh? Isn't that crazy? 8 years on Twitch, building and streaming PC builds. I think we're one of the oldest PC builders on Twitch. If I'm not mistaken, that's 2017. That's wild. Wild. So yes, this absolutely beautiful build. Let me get the specs for today's build, by the way. Let me see if I have my mods on real quick. See if I have mods on. See if any of the mods are awake. Okay. It's enjoyable. I appreciate that, Toshi. I appreciate that, sir. I made the specs. That's the old specs. That's not today's specs. Nikhil, those are old specs. Let me see here. Junaid. All right. Boom. Okay. Okay. I will probably have to update it. We have an ad starting in about just a minute, chat. Exclamation point ad in chat. Can you direct people to got your PC when they say they need and want one? I appreciate that, Toshi. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't know why the chat's not working right now. Okay, hold on. We can add a widget. Hold on. Let's see if we can add a widget right now. Hold on, chat. We're going to try it. Add. I'm looking. Hold on. I'm looking. Nope. Hold on. Stream elements. Set up edit widgets. Nope, that was not it. All right, hold on. I just need a widgets. Here we go. One chat. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to figure this out. Got it. Vital and shout out. Show out. Thank you for the follow as well. Riffert Music and Ball Dice with the follows over on YouTube. Appreciate it, guys. Marie Poe over on Twitch as well. Fishy Boy and Ivan over on YouTube this morning. Thank you, guys. Why is my overlay? Why are my overlays not showing up, chat? Hold on a second. I'm going back to overlays, themes, overlays, alerts. Why can't I create one here? Why can't I create an overlay? I appreciate that, Toshin. Okay, I'm trying to create an overlay. Widgets. Okay. Stream Elements must be broken this morning. It's not doing much. Hello? Hello? I don't know. It's not being... I gotta find... Here we go. What do you have for Christmas, Trenton? Hold on 1 second, chat. I'm trying to get this live. 1 second. Okay. Got a capture card? Nice. Godfather's coming in with a resub for 5 months with the Prime. Stupid ads coming in, trying to get me to buy chocolate. They don't know what I want. It's Christmas assistance bill. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. Got this. Let's see if it's downloaded. I'm just trying to need this little overlay in. Really quick chat because chat is not working. Okay. I have to download a bunch of stuff now. Didn't work like I wanted to. Okay. We're going to have to just go without a chat. I don't want the chats to overlay a street. I can see it right here. Why can't they just work? Copy current address. Let's see if this works. Okay, hold on. Whoop, that worked. Didn't work. Okay, that didn't work out. Well, chat's broken. All right, that's fine. The chat pop up is broken. We're gonna do that after stream. I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's get right into the build today, guys. I pre-recorded the spec for today's build, but it's 9800X 3D, 5080. 64 gigs of RAM, all the goodies, 2 terabyte NVMe drive. I said 5080 is whiteout, all whiteout, strimmer cables, reverse fans on the bottom, 380 XL view, X870 edge board, and oh yeah, the TRX Panorama SD cooler. I forgot to put that in the intro. So yeah, we've got a whiteout OLED. It's just stunning build. So beautiful build for you guys to have after the holidays. We can do something like that. Yeah, we can do something like that. Yeah, let's see. Can't we see it? Yeah, it's gonna look beautiful. Gonna look beautiful. All right, guys. Let me update the specs really quick, just so you guys can see this. X870. I know. Look, I can do it all right here. Okay, 64 gigs, 64. Okay, 2 terabytes. All right. Okay, video card. All right. There we go. I hope that worked, chat. Hope that worked. All right. Trimmer cables, more fans. I put that on the bottom. All right. Yeah, there it is, chat. Godflesh, thanks for the follow over on Kick, by the way. Appreciate that, man. Z-Man, good morning. How are we doing? It says it was updated. Good. It was updated. It's a beautiful build. Absolutely beautiful build. Let's get over to the build station. Let's get started. I'm going to grab a water really quick as well. So give me a second as I grab that. I'm gonna send you over to the bench. Take a look at all those parts, all those beautiful specs. I mean, would you look at that desk of beautiful parts? My goodness. Let's get started. I'm switching out batteries, hopefully sound good. Grab myself a drink back here. Oh, in the tippity back of our shop, got myself a little, you guys don't know it, Nature's Twist lemonade from Sam's Club. When I tell you this, it is I think it's like 0 calorie. Obviously it's gonna have like your, was it sucralose probably? Sucralose, yeah, it's sucralose, so don't hate it, but it's calorie-free lemonade, and by God, it tastes like a fresh squeezed lemonade. I love it. This is right here, that's what I'm talking about. I had it, it's amazing stuff. Keeps me hydrated while we build and stream. That 5080 looks chonky. I can't confirm Got Fuzz. It's the same 5080 it's gonna be in your system. We did 5070 Ti. I can't remember what we did in yours, but it's just, I'm pretty sure it's the same exact style. We did, because yeah, Got Fuzz, we did a 5070, right? 5070 Ti, pretty sure, right? Yeah, it's the same 5070 Ti that you have. Did the camera get tilted, by the way? I smacked the camera the other day. Does it look tilted? I think it's just the angle. No, it should look a little better now. There we go. Should look a little better now. It's a little tilted. The angle. Now it should be spot on. Should be spot on. What's up, Dad? I saw it. I will be talking to them here in like a week, just over a week, literally, just a week and a half. No, a week from now? No, a week and a half. I'll be talking to them, so I'll figure that out. I'll look into that whole rumor, see if I can get a video about it, stuff like that from the guys there. I will have their head of technical marketing and PR, so I will be talking to him directly. So I will try and leak that information for you guys. If I can. And if he tells me, I will tell you guys. Okay? All right. Yeah, Got Fuzz, but I have the same, I can see it right from here. All in the back on our GPU shelf, beautiful white 5070 Ti. It's the same exact card that you will have. But you have the 5070 Ti version. So, get the parts down, guys. We got a long build. We are back on a Friday, and we are building a monstrosity. A monstrosity, chap. I think it's the first time I've had a whiteout build with streamer cables probably in quite a few months. So get ready. Get ready to hop on board. I am gonna get, yeah. Should we just upgrade them? Should we upgrade them to a white? I'm just gonna upgrade them to a white. We're just gonna upgrade it. Can we upgrade to a white power supply? Let me see if I can. Or no, let's give them some cable extensions. Because I don't think I have a white power supply. We'll give them white cable extensions. There we go. That's what we'll do, chat. We'll give them the white cable extensions. Let me go grab some. It's even better. We got some white cables for the guy. We got some white cables for the guy. Let's do it. Alrighty. That's not our cable extension box. There's our cable extension box. All right, you heard it. That is PCIe, is what I need. I need PCIe. All right, that's one. Do we have any more? Do we have any more over here? Boom. Yeah, we're gonna be nice. We're gonna break open this box. I actually think I've had these for a while. You know, a brand new box. Brand new box. And you're like, why do you need cable extensions? Why are we hooking them up? Well, you check a PC setup I would buy if I send you the details. I mean, I can give you information on it. Would I tell you to go buy a PC from another company when we could probably build something better? No. What's up, Corey? How are we doing today? Are you building live? We're building right now. Yeah, we're building this all live right now. Light. Yep. Cable extension equals more premium, pretty aesthetics. Yes, that's what we're doing today. Click noise. This NDA. Yeah, right. Toothpick. What's up, Toothpick? How are we doing? Girls got into hair extensions. The boys were into cable extensions. True. Yeah, this is a $30 little upgrade we just gave them. Free on the house. Some beautiful Asia Horse cable extensions. We're gonna need them for the GPU, for the PCIe in the bottom and also the CPU because we have a black power supply. We're doing all the whiteout stuff. We can't have that. Can't do it. Physically can't do it. So, put everything aside for now. Over on the beautiful table over here. Let's go top down. Let's get started. Jagard, thank you for the sub. Man, I gotta get some new overlays. I mean, I like our overlays, our animated overlays, but I think we're time for a little update, a little refresh on the stream. What do you guys think? Should we do it? Did we get some gifted subs? Did we just get gifted subs or we get follows? Wait, we get gifted. I missed this. 5 gifted from Mikey. Mikey, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Guys, if you got a gifted sub in the chat, please make sure to say thank you for that. Holy moly. We had Dark and Gloomy, my NSP, Tegard, AZ, and Crazy Canuck. All got the gifted subs. Guys, make sure to say thank you if you got a gifted sub. Make sure to also refresh instead of getting those pre-roll ads that we have here on Twitch. And over on YouTube, well, that's what we're talking about. We got 5 gifted subs over on YouTube, or on Twitch. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mikey, good to see you, Mikey. Appreciate that, man. Beautiful build incoming. Love you. I appreciate it, Mikey. Thank you so much, sir. I mean, beautiful build. I mean, we upgraded the motherboard on this build to X870E. He was originally on, let me turn off I always do this. I gotta just turn on the theater mode so my watch isn't going off like crazy. Here we go. We upgraded to an X870E board. We just gave him upgraded X870E, give him upgraded braided cables. I mean, you guys know whenever I can, we try to upgrade people. And we did it here. Alas, we did it here. Clean up the motherboard, parts and accessories. Guys, if you got an MSI motherboard from us, you always get most of in the last year or two, you will always have a USB drive. This USB drive will always include important things on it, such as drivers. But if you ever need to reinstall Windows, you always have a USB drive. We've had people like, I don't have a USB drive. We have to tell them, look in your motherboard box. Did you look in your motherboard box? Yes, you do have one. And a couple people want to upgrade to Windows 11, and they don't want to do inside the Windows 10 environment, which I do not recommend doing. Upgrading Windows exterior is always premium. Do a fresh wipe. Upgrading sometimes in the Windows, it can be buggy. Don't recommend it. We've been now installing Windows 11 only Pro for our customers, unless they require Windows 10, which some people do for some applications. We are always on a Windows 11 environment right now. All right. We'll leave that on. Take some cellophane off here. Some of the goodies here. We had a good peel on that one. This one always can be hit or miss on that. We got it off. Good to see. Little piece here on the I/O. This is a beautiful motherboard, by the way, chat. I made a mistake. Satoshi knows. People, when you install Windows from inside Windows 10, it can be buggy. It can be a nightmare. Fresh install, save, back up your files, get an external SSD, an external USB drive, save the files you want. If it's games, that's why I tell people, if you get a second drive, put your games on your second drive. That way your primary OS is just OS. That way you can always update that, and your games can stay on a secondary drive. That way you never lose those. Just point to those games from an installer like a Steam or an EA or whatever app you're using for your games. Just point to that directory. Always what I recommend doing. Or you can even partition your primary drive. That way you have an OS partition and you have a gaming partition, things like that. You can do those things inside to make it easier for you. But do not, when you update from inside Windows, you're asking for trouble. It has happened. I've seen it happen. Toshin can attest to it. It happens. By also upgrading to the X870E board, oh my gosh, did we give you a plethora of I/O. Holy moly, chat. Do we see this? Do we see this? Look at all that USB 4, or sorry, USB, yeah, 40G. USB Type-C. There are two 40G Type-Cs, a 10G Type-C. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 5, Gino reference, 5 USB 10 gig 3.2 ports. Then we have 4 USB Type 2. And then we have a 5 gig LAN, and then we have Wi-Fi 7. That is a beautiful I/O if I ever see it myself. I love it. That's a stunning motherboard. It does go burr. Flat spin, yeah, pricing's been crazy. If you're looking at pricing right now for products, it's called a it's like a shift period. A shift, I say shift, not SHIT. Could be a SHIT period for RAM. It's going to continue to stay like that for some time. But it's a shift period before new promos come out. Probably after the first, probably like the second or third, that Monday, maybe even the 6th, we might see some rebate stuff come out. Pricing is going to be kind of fluctuating between now and then. Pricing is going to be a little bit higher. RAM pricing, it's going to stay where it is hopefully until January. So right now is a good time to buy. If you talk to like a system integrator like myself, get RAM now while you can, get your system while you can right now. Pricing could be more volatile in January. Yeah. Simply Takuma, I'm waiting to get the Gigabyte X870E Aero Wood motherboard. Interesting. That might look really good in like the Lee & Lee 217 case. Be a nice build. We will be meeting with Gigabyte. That is a we will. I sound like Nikita. Gotta do Tarka. We will. All right. Prices do what they want? Yes. Oh. It did sound like Nikita? It did sound like Nikita. We will. All right. I'm going to take off so we have the P510s with the heat spreaders. I'm going to try and remove the heat spreader with just the drive. I've been doing it for some people who request it. I like the carbon I/O. I might need to get a tool I have in the shop to separate it. I have a little spudger tool. Take off this thermal pad. That way it's just the thermal pad from the MSI. It hides it. It looks cleaner than just this sitting here. Give me a second, chat. Tool always works. You're like, what does spudger tool do? You just separate the, it separates the glue from the side here, so we can access the drive, which is just held in by glue. They just glue the sides of it on. So it's just moving that out. So they can remove the drive from the chassis it's in. Just glue. There it is. Showed my brother-in-law RAM prices after he bought from you, and he was like super glad he did. It was over the Xmas Eve and checked out the very PCs. Very nice. Love to hear it, man. Godfuzz, I feel bad because you ordered before him and he got his before you, but all because of the one motherboard that, of course, went out of stock. Right? It had to have, right? Why? 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 Let's remove the glue here. Slow removal of the thermal pad. There we go. All right, in we go. Crucial heat 510. Down and in. They put like a little thing of glue on it, which is an absolute pain to remove, but I've done it before. Because the force drives, you come standard with these, and they were like obscene. There we go. All right. Patient that I'm glad gets the fruit of working as a younger guy and buying his first PC. I love it, man. I missed the tag in the team channel. All good bagged? I just did it. I did it, sir. Anuchu Voisu, thank you for the follow over on YouTube. Welcome in. There we go. Guys, you're like, what was he doing? I was removing the heatsink from the drive. It's a pain in the butt, but I have done it just to make it look a little cleaner. There we go. All right, that drive is done. Let's get the CPU down and in. We've been chatting away. Take a look at sockets. Beautiful socket, no bent pins. 9000 extra D, down and in we go. There we go. Keep the factory OEM box. CPU will have. In case you ever need to warranty it, that information, we have that there. All right, next is going to be our memory and then also our drive. That's where we already have a drive our cooler. Here we have the beautiful TRX Panorama SE 360 AIO. Beautiful cooler today. Last PC I was like 7 years old or something. I won it in a giveaway and gave it to him. That is a good man. That is a good man right there. Gift the family an old gaming PC. What a good man. All right. low torque screwdriver. Taking our factory screws. I'm going to right back in. Just the screws. Take off the factory bracket. The factory screws go right back in. For the standoff for the cooler. Bag, did you have a good Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas, sir? Intel and AMD brackets are back in the factory brackets go in the box, back in the bag alongside our Intel bracket, which you do not need. Into the motherboard box, so that way they have that along with the manual. Let's put the bracket on top up here. There's screws. One and two, then we'll hand tighten the rest and torque it down. There we go. Wonder if Intel will make a comeback next year. I'm going to see if they're going to announce anything at CES. I mean, we have a week till CES. I don't even know who has the keynote this year. I'm not going to the, I usually don't go to the keynote. But I want to know I wonder who has it. Extra little Velcro straps for TRX into the motherboard box. There you go. Next will be our memory. 64 gigs, 6000 CL30. We quote 64C32 or 6000 C30. Same latency. We get that RAM, basically with the RAM market, how volatile it is. We're gonna get you that 64 gig kit either in 64C32 or 6000 C30. 6000 C30 is a sweet spot for AMD right now. And in it goes. One kit of 1 by 32, second 1 by 32 DIMM. Down here we go. I love the way the Fury RAM accents the motherboard. I think it pairs perfectly on that board. Beautiful white ARGB sticks of Kingston RAM. It was good, bag. So I talked about it on my personal Twitter. My little one was sick. Woke up at like 1:45 in the morning, just vomited all over her carpet, her white carpet, which was an absolute buzzkill to do after just falling asleep an hour and so earlier after wrapping gifts for my wife. Things like that. It was an absolute just, it's tiring. Woke up sick, throwing up all morning. We had to cancel Christmas for the first time ever. So it wasn't the best Christmas, but by the end of the day, she was better. Just a little gastro bug that she had. So we had to cancel Christmas. So man, it was, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Got CL 46,000 latency, huge different, yes. And so the biggest thing, I could fight about this. Some people are like, it doesn't matter. It's just like 5 to 10 FPS. Average 5 to 10 FPS on those CL40 timings. The big difference in where you will notice the FPS change and the timings and latency is when you're starting to get into like PvP or gunfights in a lot of these higher performance games like Tarkov, Arena Breakout, Tarkov Arena, these types of games where you need that 1% lows and the 0.01% lows where you have those really intense like CPU, RAM, GPU battles where you need the most FPS, you will see the big difference in FPS drops there. The CL40 kits, the CL36, even CL42, those kits, when your frames drop to like 60, 70 FPS, where a CL30 kit might keep you at like 80, 90, 100 FPS, there's a big difference in the way that game feels and the movement of the game. The CL30 timings, those tighter timings there is where you see a significant increase in FPS performance. That is where timings matter. And that's why we use CL30 standard on our Synth builds for like our higher end FPS builds. We will have CL30 because it's where it matters for the gamer. It's all good. AADLS810 over on YouTube. It's all good. Hopefully I can explain that for you well there. Long little ones better is all that matters. Yep. My son had strep throat last week, and my mom found out she has COVID on Wednesday, so we had a less traditional Christmas. Yeah. Ended up in the ER with a spiking fever when they were 12. Or when you were 12. Holy cow. Yeah, you've had your fair share. All right, guys, let's get the case out. Again, X870E Edge board from MSI, phenomenal board, beautiful board. Standoffs are in place for the TRX Panorama SC, the 9000X3D down in the socket. Our 2 terabyte Crucial P510 is down here in our NVMe slot 1.
That's a Gen 5 drive. Fast, blistering speeds. We have 64 gigs of 6,000 CO 30 RAM from Kingston, the Fury RGB with a white aesthetic. Beautiful build. Let's slide this aside. Look at that beautiful 380XL view case out. One of our favorite cases here at Stinspelt here of 2025, moving into 2025, 2026. This is going to be a standard. It is always stocked typically here. We do have a new version of it next week. We'll be building, I believe, next Wednesday on stream potentially. When we do the giveaway stuff, I'll probably be building in the new dusk color, which is a different type of color from Thermaltake, and it's beautiful. So I'll probably build that on stream on Wednesday next week. Maybe Got Fuzz, if you want yours built on stream, I might do it Friday next week, up to you. Or if you just want to get, if you want it done beforehand, let me know. I don't know if you want it on stream or off stream, Got Fuzz. You just let me know. I did reverse. Make it harder for myself. All right. This is, in white, this is one of my favorite cases of 2025. This is the Thermaltake 380XL View. This 100% is a play or a shot, in my opinion, at Leanly and NZXT. I think they combine all the elements of both cases phenomenally well. It came out with a stunning case that does not break the budget, but it has everything you want from aesthetics to performance. And that is the 380XL View from Thermaltake. I think it's a phenomenal case. Beautiful airflow, beautiful reverse fans on the side over here. It's a toolless design to get into the case, which is what I also prefer when we're doing these types of larger builds, which means you just need to throw a couple thumb screws, pop out the glass there like you see. Off it comes, heavy glass, tempered glass. Off of that. Again, it has the reverse fans offset on the angle, which is great for airflow, especially in the dual chamber design like you see here today. Back panel's coming right off, toolless. Now, when we start breaking into the SSD cage here, I will need to take out the recessed screws. There are two that hold the back panel on here. And then off the pan comes the SSD drive tray, or you can actually do a 3.5 hard drive tray on here as well. You can put one right here. You can see the hard drives right here on the bottom. We have that there. There it is. And we are all opened up. Now, what I like that Thermaltake also has done on this case is when you talk about front panel cables, they're white. They are white. So we're keeping with the premium white aesthetic. Some of these other manufacturers, when they're building these cases, then you have the beautiful pure white, snow white type of case. They add black cables. Why? 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 I usually do three days a week. Around the holidays, I get down to 1 to 2 days a week. Like, obviously, with like Christmas last week, we were trying to get stuff out the door. This week, yesterday being Christmas Eve on Wednesday, I didn't stream. We give everybody off, the day off, to spend time with family. Which is great because, obviously, what happened, we just talked about. I didn't really have much of a Christmas. So I spent my family, I'm glad we had a good Christmas Eve and a Christmas Eve. After work on Tuesday, we had to go over and see family. So it worked out, but I didn't get to see family off yesterday like I would have hoped to. It was sudden, but alas. But we'll be building Monday. We're building Wednesday and Friday next week. Sunday and Monday, my wife's birthday is on Sunday night. So Sunday, we're gonna do a little getaway here with her. So I will not be building on Monday. All right, so I'm going to take off this glass piece right here on the side. 2 retention screws hold this in place here. I don't need to take it off to build. I just take it off just for the photos afterwards and the aesthetic. I like this panel off. I also want to take off some of this, the plastics. So you'll have to take off that glass to really access the plastic on it. You will have to take those 2 screws out. So we'll leave the inset piece in just for, some people like to have do the peels, you know, the ASMR glass panel peels. But once you take off the panels, I mean, this is a really, really good airflow-based case. I mean, the recessed reverse fans here is a nice touch. Really good quality fans straight out the box. It does have the BTF design or the BTF or the Project Zero, depending on the manufacturer. The rear accessible slots, they are there. This is right where you would have your CPU, your EPS CPU power, 24 pin, your USBs, rear panel. It is BTF compatible, which is really nice. So if you want to do like a Project Zero board in this case, it'd be a really good case to do one in. All right, so we're gonna get the motherboard down and in right away. We've got our screws, everything over here to do so. Let's go top down so you can take a look at this. I do like the way the edge board sits in this case. It does match up very nicely for the aesthetics. There we go, slide it in place. I will have to pop off the M.2 draw accessible for that screw, that center screw. A case does sits deep, yeah. It is a dual chamber case that does sit pretty deeply. Yeah. You need the AMD card stack up even close to 5080? Yes, the XT. 9070 XT gets pretty close. Gets pretty close. Now with DLSS and frame generation, obviously you got to give it hands down to the 5080. But for pure raster, the 9070 XT is a great card for the price. We've actually had quite a bit of 9070 XTs and 9060 XT orders recently because for bang for buck, they do perform extremely well. FSR and stuff like that from AMD, it's not even remotely close. Like frame generation and DLSS, like NVIDIA wipes the floor. But for pure raster performance, AMD is darn close of a competitor. Like native resolutions without any kind of like frame generation, stuff like that, AMD does really well. The 9060 XT 16 gig is a great card right around the $350 price point. If you can get it for $350, they've gone up closer to $400 now with the recent price hikes. The 9060 XT 16 gig is a great card. We streamed on single PC gaming and streamed on it in the shop a month ago. Played Battlefield out there. I was blown away by its performance. Pair with the 9600X to 9060 XT is a phenomenal system. Phenomenal system for FPS. People don't realize the 9600X can perform within a couple percentage of a 9800X or 7800X 3D with 6 cores. It just doesn't have that 3D V cache. So in some titles, it won't perform as well as a 7800X 3D will. But for the price, man, that's a phenomenal CPU. I've put quite a few friends and family on that 9600X. I think it's just phenomenal for its cost. Oh, nice. June 8, yeah. That's not too far at all. I'm a diehard Pens fan. The crazy part is I also do follow the caps of all the flyers. I'll watch all the games when I can. I did follow the caps really well because for years ago, before I was in PC, you guys know I did a lot of photography. And when I was doing photography, I actually shot the Hershey Bears, which is the affiliate for the Capitals. So I had to shoot them for years. So I followed a lot of the players that went up to the Capitals, John Carlson, things like that. They all played in the local AHL team that I photographed for like a local newspaper. So I always do follow caps. Yep. What do you expect to have the PC built if it wasn't on stream? Whenever that motherboard gets in, we're just waiting on the motherboard that shipped like what, last week? Let me see if I have the shipping information for you. I can tell you ideally when it will arrive. Give me a second, I'll tell you right now, Godfuzz. I will tell you right now. I built my dream PC recently, and your videos helped me a huge deal. I want to say thank you. You're welcome, sir. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad it worked out for you. Of course, Godfuzz. Give me 1 second. I'm at the desk right now looking at the timeline for motherboard. Let's see. ETA says Friday, January 2nd. What? Next Friday? And it shipped on the 22nd. That doesn't seem right. 7 days ago it shipped. On the way in Ontario, California, because it came right off the boat on the 23rd. That doesn't seem right. We'll keep an eye on it, Godfuzz. We'll keep an eye on it, okay? I love the year I ran the EB games in Harrisburg. Wait, Bag, I didn't know you actually lived in my area. How did I not know that? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. actually. So Gothfuzz, we gotta keep an eye on that. That doesn't seem right. I feel like that's that timeline is not realistic. Yeah, might as well be on stream. If it arrives that Friday, might as well put it on stream, right? That's crazy. That just tells you how long things are shipping from like West Coast to East Coast. That's a UPS. Had it been potentially with like FedEx, I could have gotten here earlier. Dude, FedEx has been delayed, but FedEx coming from California is faster than UPS coming from California. I've noticed that. Like FedEx ground is like 4 to 5 days. UPS ground could be like 6 to 7, which is stupid. It's very frustrating. All right. Our support brackets. We should be able to use this. We should. Okay. GPU support bracket? Yes, we will put that in. There we go. There's our support bracket. It kind of sits like this on this slot right here. Goes up and down. So we should be able to get pretty close to it. Yeah, we should be able to get pretty close to it. What am I worried about there? Getting the bottom USB 3 header. All right, so let me put that in. If you guys a front close-up really quick of the beautiful motherboard inside the case. We're gonna get ready to work on our reverse fans as well. There we go, chat. Good share? Yes. I do have some recommendations on a good chair. I will get those over to you here in a minute. I do like, so we have Haven and Flex. Haven has a chair, and you guys know we've been doing some Haven cases recently on the channel. They are owned by Pro Gamers Group. They have their own chair. I actually have one over here. Put that in for later. Support bracket. All right, all the other screws out of here, we will take out them. I will take out the silver screws for our power supply later. We'll need those. Put them in our little screw tray over here. All right, the rest of the screws will go over here. Little toolkit of all the screws. Extra screws will go in the motherboard box. All right. There's chat, looking good. I'm gonna work on our bottom fans next. I'm gonna go like so. Just gonna put these bottom fans in. There we go. There are 3 TL120s, reverse airflow fans from Thermal Right. Anybody mind literally waiting on GPU support bracket? Been on 1080p for final years, want to make the switch to 1440p, but don't want to sacrifice frames. Autonomous make good chairs, yep. If you're patient, keep me updated. As soon as I work with a Razer, they send me a bad Viper V2 Pro. And Logitech when replace the mouse after a left quick switch die. Dang, that's crazy. So I will say that I love my Razer. I have at home. I went to the not the Ultimate, but it's the wired version of the, I believe, the Viper. It's phenomenal mouse. Phenomenal mouse. These beautiful Thermalright fans. Work on these in a second. We were neighbors back in 24. I live in almost on 39 from. That's crazy. There you go. Beautiful fans, screws. All right. Okay. Get these bad boys in. I think it's pretty accessible down through here, so I'm going to feed these in. Work on the cabling later. Actually, I will take out the first set. Take off the first set of wires. Okay. First one's in. One time I've been a PA for Hershey Park, Whitehill, and Poconos. Hershey Park is not far from us. Whitehill's not too bad. Whitehill's a decent resort. If you're from the Virginia area, though, you've got what's the big one down there? It's a really big Snowshoe. I think it's Snowshoe, right? Is it Snowshoe the really nice resort in Virginia? That's a nice one. My God, the screw's not staying magnetized. Hidden Valley, Donegal, West Virginia. Okay. Snowshoe, West Virginia. Okay. I don't know all the ski resorts down there. I do hear Snowshoe's really pretty though. Last fan. We'll work on the wiring here in a few minutes. We have the front panel connections, all the goodies. We have the bottom fans in. There we go. Right on. We're gonna make sure they're pretty even. It is even. These were magnetized screws, they'd be great. I can magnetize it. May have to remagnetize the tip of this screwdriver. There we go. There's one. Well, that piece looks amazing. It's gonna look really good. It's gonna look really good. All right. Send you guys out building an absolute beauty here is what our goal was for 2025. Okay, one more screw here. There it is, chat. Other bottom screws, or bottom fans, I mean. Get these organized now. So we're gonna our cable management, because this one does need a little bit of love, because if you guys know what thermal take, give you a lot of extra excess cables. Not talking about thermal, right, but a lot of cables over here to manage. We'll get that here in a few minutes. I want to do Razer mice because I like their camera and their mic machine, but the two Razers I had in a row, switch issues and one had failing MMB, so I moved on. Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, I have a Viper. My Viper does give me a few USB errors once from time to time. Not while I'm gaming, but it's like when I initially start up, like almost like a power issue. But I do have an older AMD motherboard, which I know has had power issues before on USB. So I need to kind of just I probably should update some BIOS on my personal system. I'm a little, not dated, but like I think I'm back like 5 or 6 months of BIOS. And it could be updating and make it a little more efficient. Okay. Second chat. Sorry about that. That was a customer calling. Try to pick them up when I can, grab them. They did not finish. See what they're saying. All right. All right, 3 fans are connected on the bottom. Next will be RGB. Okay. All right, so we get these connected, zip tied, cleaned up. Fan header is right here, perfect. There we go. Next will be RGB. Get these all connected on the bottom. Okay. Let's get this connected. We're going to work on all of our RGB after this, all of our other front panel connections. These dialed. White paint Thermaltake uses looks so premium. It does. It looks so clean. I'm on, what switches did I go to? I went to a really nice premium switch at home. They are like I think the Acco Speed Silvers that are lubed. Oh my God, they're so nice. Now I have regular Speed Silvers here, and I think I have, I've used, my other one I really like, that's like a linear switch was, or a tactile switch was the, GMM, I think that's a game. Who made them? Oh, I can't remember what switch it was. They're so good. I think they're a premium switch from. Who made them? I can't remember who made this switch. There's a recent switch that I used that was absolutely just stunning. They're lubed like a lube box switch almost. They're so nice. like a clicky, like I think it was like a Panda. Pandas were the really popular ones for a while. Oh, 100%. Acco has some really good switches and keyboards. Yeah, they came out of like nowhere and really put their name on the market for sure, for show. They were doing that for show. Dragon over on YouTube, thanks for the follow. SoCal guy over for the follow here on Twitch, appreciate that. And I to voice you over on YouTube. We'll get some people from all over the world. Appreciate that, guys. Coming in here and liking the stream on YouTube. Appreciate that. If you're on other platforms right now, following and watching, maybe you're on Kick or you're on Twitter or X, and we're not really getting back to your comments, I apologize. I can't see it on the multi-chat for some reason. I can see Kick. I can't see X for some reason. Never comes through. Right. Run some cable management real quick on the RGB, the PWM cables that are run all over the case. I'm trying to dial them in. Okay, Thermaltake gave us crappy zip ties. Grr. Grr. Just snapped right away. Did you hear that? Actually, I might have been a Thermaltake one. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. On temp number 2. It snaps, and we know. No, it did not snap. Okay, maybe somebody else. Clean my main keyboard once a month. I just cleaned mine out here the other week. It was pretty dirty. Being at the shop and getting so much use per day, emails, ordering, stuff like that. I use this one so much. I just cleaned it out the other day, actually. I was like, all right, that was dirty. I'm talking about how dirty, it was dirty. I definitely had some fuzz bunnies in that one. One in the house I clean out pretty religiously because of being a gaming keyboard. They had some dust bunnies. One here. Guys, here's me as a Thermaltake. I just snapped that one. Again. Okay. Let's run the RGB up and in. RGB. Let's get our fan cables in. There's a lot of cables here. Let me just hit some of these RGB cables with a. They have a whole bunch of RGB daisy chain cables here. I just want to hit with a little extra electric tape so they don't come undone, so that it doesn't put an X in the circuit. Last one. We're gonna start working on zip tying these bad boys and getting cleaned up because there's a lot of excess back here to dial in. All right. All right, fan header time. Last fan header up and in. Give you a lot of, I think they're about 3 feet long, the cables that come back here off these side fans. I'm trying to dial these in and make them look neat. That's our goal right now, just trying to tidy them up because they are messy to say the least. Okay, clean that up, tuck that in there. About over RGB. There you go, good, good. All right. All right. Let's work on the front panel connections now. All the RGBs all figured out and routed and zip tied. And it's a mess, but we got to it. Hello, Darian, how we doing? All right. HD audio, down and up and in. There's HD audio cable. Looking nice. Next will be our front panel connection. Up and in here. Looking good there. All right, we'll have to adjust this because I want to get our USB 3.0 header in. Oh, actually, we'll be able to do that. USB 3 header. Up and in. Turn this sideways just for a second, chat. You'll see the 3.0 header. There it is. Okay. 3.0 headers in. We're working on these cables here in a minute. Let's get the next to be our Type C. Perfect. All in there. All right, awesome. Now we get to work on dialing these all in. It's in, good, good. All right, time to start working on our cable extensions for our CPU, and then we're gonna move on to the power supply. Then we have to move on to our RGB cables. There's one. I just need some of our EPS, 2, 3. All right. So for EPS, I just need one for our PCI in the bottom. There we go. All right. Looks good. All right. There's our PCIe cable. Like, since why you put a PCIe cable in the system? Well, the motherboard needs it for quick charge, things like that. So we're just gonna hit this with a little bit of. It's been a while since I had to put cable extensions in, chat. I don't do them a lot because I don't know. I haven't requested. We use a lot of premium power supplies that have really nice cables. But today we have it. We have, not only do we have cable extension, we also have the streamer cables. So we got a lot of RGB today, chat. A lot of RGB in today's build. It's gonna look good when we get it done. There it is. It's easier to go this way. Actually, easier to go this way. Okay. There's our PCIe cable extension here. There it is. You can see it there. Looks nice and neat. There it is. Get our EPS next. Then we'll go on to our 24 pin. And this is another little upgrade that we did for you in the house. Just put the cable cones on, make it look nice and neat. They're on 38 versus 11. What do you like more? I like the airflow more of the 380XL. 11's nice. I've done a ton of 11s. I like 380XL more for airflow, for performance. I find it more superior for the cost. All right. I have a sit stand desk at home. I like it a lot. I recommend them more and more over the years. What are we doing backwards? We did it backwards, Chad. What am I doing? Let's go like this. What are we doing, stints? Yeah, airflow has become more in focus, especially with you're pumping more wattage at these systems, so they need to have more airflow because of the hotter thermals. So yeah, I like that we're seeing more airflow focused cases, but also having really premium aesthetic. This is definitely one of those cases for sure. Oh, it's giant. It's gorgeous. It's going to look really good. Hey, can you give me a device? I have a 3600 Ryzen 3800X, my RAM, 2 more frames and games. Faster system, faster. I mean, you're on a dated system now in terms of like a higher FPS. Seacon, like that system's getting dated in today's standards for like really more performance side of games. If you can get a faster CPU, like a 5700X3D, 5600X3D, 5800X3D, you might be able to see a bump in performance. Other than that, you're kind of getting dated where you might be needing to look at an upgrade. I had some friends on very similar systems in recent games, and they had to just upgrade because it was time. If budget comes into worry, I mean, I really just look at trying to find like an X3D, AM4 X3D CPU, 5600X3D, 5700X3D, 5800X3D. Those systems right there would be able to get you a couple more years out of that. Because I'm on one of those as well, and it is working, but it is, they're getting dated. There we go. Those are our little braided cables thrown in there, free of charge. There we go. All right. Happy Boxing Day. What's up, River 2? It's clean. It's clean. All right. Next is going to be our cable extensions. 24-pin main. Now these are the wireless ones. Thank God they finally went wireless. Leanly's gone more wireless control with their stuff recently, so we'll see how this does. Let's see how she does. Oh, missed it. I'm on the white cable guides. I just missed it. Spudger tool right here. Do I need? There we go. It's such a pain to put on. We get in? There we go. We're in. We're in there like swimwear. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for the PC love. Appreciate that, guys. Can you show the new viewers where you can put the downloaded RAM? Oh, it popped out on me. No. I had it locked in and it popped out. Okay, these are in, okay. One second, chat. Hello, Stinsbill, how can I help you? Good, how are you doing today? Yeah, we're here, how are we doing? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It depends really. Some of the older systems with Windows 10, and especially they're 4 to 5 years old, sometimes they need to have TMP enabled, and they also need to have Secure Boot enabled. Those types of things right there are features that are necessary for Windows 11. So if you don't have those things enabled, it's going to give you that command that you don't have the option to upgrade to Windows 11. Those are the types of things that even if you bought your system 4 to 5 years ago, if you go to our Discord, our team will cover that as part of it. It's kind of like our lifetime support. Obviously, we usually have about a 3-year labor support that we include. Even though we only advertise 1 year, we do about 3 years of free labor for any kind of systems like that. But this is something that we need to kind of look into the BIOS and see where your BIOS are at. Is it something that we can potentially upgrade to Windows 11? It may be dated, but we should be able to kind of work around that. If you can join our Discord and create a ticket and just tag Stints, I can actually help you out as well here on the day. I know we have a shorter staff today because it's the day after the holiday. I gave a lot of our team the time off to spend with their families. I came into work, but I'll be able to help you out here shortly after a build stream. Or if you can email it, I might be able to walk you through, even FaceTime you personally and help you walk you through it. I know you're an older customer. I'm recommending the name, and it's about 4, almost 5 years ago, Mike. So, but yeah, if you can, like I said, if you can just create or shoot us an email from your order receipt that you might have, we can look up the specs, and I'll be able to give you a call here shortly and take a look at that. You got it. No problem, Michael. Hey, hope you had a great Christmas, and we'll talk to you here shortly. Yeah, bye. I was not muted. Oops, sorry about that, chat. We have a shorter staff today, obviously, with some of the guys being out for the holiday. I gave a lot of our staff like a 4-day weekend. I know, heaven forbid, heaven forbid. We got a lot of the builds done in time. I said, enjoy the weekend. But it was an older customer, about 5-year-old system. He had some, he's trying to update to Windows 11. And we talked about this before. Windows 11 could be really finicky when trying to update. So we're trying to get him updated. I'm going to try and help him out after stream. You know, just something we do, you know. We care about the customers. Care about the end user, you know. All right. Like, Since what are you fiddling around with over here? Well, this is the guide. This would be our guide for the shimmer cables, and man, they are a pain in the butt. we get this time? We got it. Okay. I appreciate that. And that's just how you got to treat your customers like that, You got to take care of them. Now, we always offer like a labor warranty of like a year, but we've had people that come in with like PCs that are like years old that were like, dude, just bring it in, we'll take care of you. Send it to us, we'll take care of you. That's how we are. That's how we operate. If you don't want to honor your product that you've made and take care of it, somebody after the sale, even years later, and just they have that level of customer service, you don't belong in our industry. We've seen those people like that come and go that don't want to take care of the customers. We're all about taking care of the customers. So, that's going to be a beautiful cable right there. Sorry, I got excited. What's up, War PC? How we doing? How much about Asia Horse on them? They're budget friendly. They're really good. They're really good cable extensions for the price, for sure. And where I can buy a 5000X for D or 5700X for my 9700XT, I have a 5700X. My GPU is crying for another good CPU. That is, you know what's crazy right now? People are actually coveting those CPUs. Because of the price of RAM right now, people on older DDR4 systems are just upgrading, trying to find those CPUs right now to upgrade to. So yeah, it's been crazy. CCon, thanks for the follow. Average Gamer, thank you for the follow over here. Aegitas, thanks for the follow as well. Yeah, they're great. I'm zip tying them right now, working on the cables as we speak on the back, trying to get them dialed in. Let me get some more white zip ties. Before we get ready to put the power supply in chat, we have power supply cooler. We can put the cooler in now if we wanted to. Probably be easier to put the cooler in now. Now we got the HRS cables in up top. We should be able to do that. I'm just out in our shop grabbing some more zip ties. Make it easier for later. White zip ties here, some heavy duty ones. That's all we need. Got a couple of thick boys as well. A couple 8-inch, a couple of 10-inch zip ties. To grab back here. These thicker zips. Oh man, it looks like it's starting to snow out here, chat. We're supposed to get some snow and then ice later here. Ooh. No spank you. All right. This is the USB. You plug this in the back of your PC. That's what controls the wireless. And we're going to be using that. We could use a USB port and a fan header internally. Actually, we'll have it. Yeah, we're going to do an internal one. We don't take away the USB in the back. We'll do an internal one down below. Because we'll have the USB for the, see what's like a USB? Powers your fans, or you can have a header. We'll put the header down in here only because that way the back of the I/O look a lot cleaner. Also shipping wise, it'd be a lot easier. Just plug this in here, we'll zip tie it off from the bottom, and then that way the customers don't have to worry about we're like keeping it plugged in and being an eyesore on the back of the I/O. And they do that to make it easier, but we have USB and we have PWM. The only thing is it's black. It's black. Hopefully we can hide it down here. Hopefully we can hide it pretty well down here. Not too bad. Not too shabby. I know it's the only black wires we have to come from Lee & Lee. Put this down here, plug this in. Now the other USB is going to go to our OLED monitor. Our OLED monitor. It's pretty much like a monitor. It's going to go to our OLED. So this can go down here. We can zip tie this down below and hide this out of the way. It's going to have a little bit of a rattle in the bottom of the case, but it's not going to hurt it at all. I'll zip tie here. We're just going to zip tie these cables to the existing cable we have on the bottom, out of the way. There we go, all done there. All right. Now that'll control all of the wireless accessories we have, which is awesome. So that is that. I'll put the other manuals like that for these in the motherboard box, extra on the bottom. All right, now we're gonna move on to the cooler. Since we've got all this already done, we have the cooler in. We've already got our cables up here, we've got our cables over there. We've got the cooler done before we put the power supply in today. Typically we do it in reverse, but today we're gonna do the cables first. Then we can just dial in all of the beautiful things that we have left to do. We'll dial it all in. How are we looking so far, chat? We liking this build, by the way? You enjoying this PC today, guys? Looks sharp, thanks, Toothpick. Did you paint it yourself? No, I did not. looks amazing. June 8th, it's all good, man. I have to have to buy some for my bill when I they're nice. The HWorks ones are nice. Yep, these are all my recommended. This is my recommended spec. Like if you guys come to me, you ask me what you want, stuff like that. This is what I put together for our customer. You know, that's what we put together for them. Chrome on the motherboard is bad ace. Yeah, the white cables are great. Yeah, it's nice. The RGB cables are gonna look stunning too. See that all dialed in? I heard through a rumor that Signal RGB is gonna be able to control Leanly products soon. If that's true, oh boy. Oh boy, are we in for a treat? We'll get that later. Okay, we've got the RGB hooked up. We've got the PWM fan hooked up. Now we're going to work on getting this cooler in. We're going to put the cable. We're going to put this fan header or this fan guide or fan. This is our fan filter. Slides in just like that for the bottom fan. It's a really nice touch. All right, let's get this beautiful cooler out, guys. Today, well, we've got ourselves a beautiful OLED, AMOLED screen, the TRX SE Panorama, phenomenal cooler. Obviously, TRX is our premium coolers we now offer at Sinspil. They are available all the time on our website, on our builders, custom quotes, you name it. We've been offering this as our premium option. We're going to be doing the A13s from MSI as our primary entry-level cooler, which is a phenomenal cooler from MSI. So A13s are our standard cooler now. We will not be offering Montec or anything like that moving forward. It'll be A13s. Now, if you want a blackout subtle version, you'll have our RGB puck on the cooler, and then you'll have black Arctic fans we will offer for a black sleek look. But there will be our A13, then we'll have Be Quiet as our premium RGB cooler. There'll be the light loops. Those will be our next step up. And then for our premium coolers, we'll be offering the TRX Panorama. Only time we'll be using Leanly products is when they're requested or in a build spec. We're not trying to phase them out, but we've had a little bit of variations in their fans and their coolers not kind of hold up to our standard. So the TRX with the Notice fans that they have here, Noctua, are really high in quality. So I really like their fans. And the overall presentation, the product itself from TRX has been phenomenal. So we'll be meeting them at CS here in a few weeks. They will be a standard of us in 2026. They are phenomenal system setup. So all right, let's pop off the AMOLED, which is only powered by USB, and that screen is stunning. So put that off to the side. We're getting ready to mount the pump, which already has a thermal pad pre-applied. The thermal pads that TRX pre-apply is their really nice ID7, or A01, ID7. ID7 is another brand. The A01 thermal grease. Really good grease they already pre-apply on a pad. So these are fresh, they just came in, so the pad is gonna be perfect for today's build. Plenty, don't worry about any kind of anything there. Fans are pre-installed, which is nice as well. So we're gonna go top down. Ready to mount this cooler. I'm out the pump. The only thing you have to worry about now, though, chat, is this. Do we want to go around like so, or do we want the cooler in the back? I think the cooler was in the back like this. Can we go? Like so. Junaid, this is a question for you. So we gotta make sure we have room for the cooler. With the RGB cables, I don't want to hide them. I could go down through the RGB cable loop from the front. This will have to pop up like this more. Like that. It'll sit like that. Dude, AJ, my daughter was sick on Christmas, so. AJ, what are your thoughts on this? Let's see if we have, just gonna rub there, I don't like that. I have to sit forward more like this. Still gonna rub. I think we go with the front. We go like this. I have to flip the fans around, and I bring the loop over and through. Actually, it can sit like this. One thing is the wires. It can sit like this. Then see, when it goes like that, I think that'll be all right. So you need like this, down and in. So you have your RGB screen. Your screen's gonna go right here, and you have the RGB cables. That look okay? I think it looks good. Down below the cables. So sit just like so. Yep. Look good? Yeah, I think that's the best way. I think it's be the best way like that. I will have to flip the fans around. The fan configuration is backwards, so I'll flip these around really quick. Because they want to mount the fan in the back. Because on their systems, that's how they have it. So let's 360 the fans really quick. I think that's the best way of doing it on this case. It's not a vertical GPU. No, not a vertical GPU today. The reason we don't do a lot of vertical GPUs is the riser cables, any kind of overclocking, things like that are so finicky. Merry Christmas, AJ. I think I told you yesterday in the group chat, but I hope you had a good Christmas too, AJ. Sorry you were sick Christmas Eve. Dude, it was going around. Like I said, my daughter was sick Christmas Eve into Christmas morning, and it was awful. Honestly, like one of the worst Christmas Eve nights of sleep I've ever had in my entire life. I woke up exhausted yesterday. As any normal parent is Christmas Eve, and then she was like, she threw up profusely all across her white carpet in her bedroom. Like, my wife and I were like literally on our hands and knees picking up puke shards at 2 a.m. in the morning, Christmas morning. And then, yeah, that was my Christmas morning, chat. Woke up sick. One kid's in the open up Christmas gifts in our front of our Christmas tree. The other one's laying on our couch in their front. We call it their room, my kid's room, like their living room. It's like an older carpet. It's not bad. It's just older blue carpet, which is like bluish gray carpet. Called the blue room in our family. Just like laying on the couch, trying to be like not sick. Dog cuddled up next to her, making her feel good. The other one's in the Christmas room, just opening up like joy of all her Christmas gifts. And it was just, man, it's a long morning. So, yeah, my wife actually last night was like just scrubbing it all out, like just being a trooper, going to town on cleaning the vomit off the vomit stain off the bedroom carpet. So it was, yeah, it was a morning, to say the least. A morning and a Christmas. All right. I try to, Toothpick. I try to, man. I try to be honest and transparent with all of our customers. I try to always build the best PCs possible for the price. I mean, sometimes I can't beat some pre-builts because they're using some gray market parts that I just won't kind of dip into. We always use really good quality part components, and that's just what I want our customers to expect when they come to get a PC from us. 23rd, went to bed like, my throat's a bit scratchy. Woke up Wednesday with runny nose and watery eyes. Oh, man. That does not sound like fun, AJ. These screws are, like, connected. Holy cow, can you get these apart? They use like a spring-assisted, like, screw for the AIO. So I am going to use just this right here to quickly get some kind of torque on them. There's one, and we'll adjust the pump here in a second. Okay. Okay. Then you just work the rest. We get pretty aligned there. Yeah, toothpick. It's kind of what we've been talking about. We're not going to really. We're not trying to make a profit on our RAM right now for our customers. We're giving them costs just so they can get a good quality PC. Like I know, I also realize that that margin that retail is putting on RAM, it's so they can make their margin. I'm not like trying to make that. You know what I mean? I will make my money on my labor, and I'll make a couple dollars here and there on other parts. I'm not talking like maybe 20, 30 bucks on a few other parts, and then my labor. So that's just what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? We're going to try and offer the best PCs possible that we can for our customers, and then we sell more PCs because we're being honest and transparent, and then the end consumer gets a good quality PC, and they're not getting ripped off by the retail market on RAM. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and I think that's going to be our focus here in 2026. Is just to offer really competitive pricing on every component we can, just so that the consumers know they can still buy a reliable PC in the new year. You know, I think it's a really fair way to conduct business, and I'm going to continue to do that here in the new year. So that's my goal. All right, let me put the rad up and in. I'm just pre-running the cables for a pump. I think that's a really good way to run a business. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's really fair. I think the end consumers will be really happy with that. You got a good quality PC, got a good quality price, and they know who to turn to. You know, that's our goal. It's going to be our goal in the new year. Hey, Merck, how we doing? Okay, so it looks good. This is the Thermaltake 380 XL View. Yep, 100% true. HA, yep. I appreciate that toothpick. I mean, I appreciate that. I wish more people would see that our pricing is like better than what you can do it yourself with right now. That's what I want to keep it at all year. That's my goal. Really help the people who are usually typically DIY, like DIY PC market. I want to be their source of like good quality PC builds in 2026. That's my goal. Be able to really help the DIY market out because they don't want to deal with the inflated pricing of retail. That'll be my goal is to buy over more DIY people who typically build themselves to save money and be like, wow, I can really get a good quality PC from a really reputable builder. One second. I see you guys chatting up there. Give me 1 second. I just want to put the screw in. I'm actually going to slide this backward just a smidge. Try to even it out there. Yep. Should look good. All right. That's why McSin's Bill's the best. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Merc. Hope you're a good one, brother. Once these pre-built PC companies run out of DDR5 RAM, their price will go up on their PCs. The crazy part is we're not a pre-built, we're a system configurator or a system integrator. So we have like set pricing. We have to raise them here and there. But the cyber powers, iBuy powers, their pricing is going to go up dramatically. To the point where we actually might beat them on pricing on higher end spec systems because their margins will be so minimal on that type of stuff that they have to go up. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to give us, I think that the really good builders like myself, like I know there's a couple of really good builders like Alexander PCs. My buddy TJ, he owns that company. We're really good friends with the guys over at Alexander. We price our systems really, really well to really help the end user. And I think we'll do that. Now, there are other people who do take advantage of the market and price a little bit more higher, considering even the volume they do. I won't say their names, but they know who they are. Like, we will continue to build the best PCs possible with the best pricing. And I think the really good tier 2 system integrators like myself, like the Alexander, will do really well because we'll be honest and transparent. And some other people will struggle because they just can't keep the pricing where they need to be to have all the overhead. All right. eBay, the thing is I can't justify eBay, you know? Hey, I'm doing good. Just fixing a water leak. Luckily, it was not under the concrete slab. Holy moly, I mean, that stinks. Get a bonus in March, depending on finance, I'll do a build like this. What does this cost? This one was a little bit higher. Obviously, because it's 64 gigs of RAM, Gen 5 NVMe, all the RGB. This was right around 4,200. Yeah, around 4,200. I mean, for $4,200, this is a ridiculously good PC, though. So, King Criminal, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate that. Those large SIs need to do volume. Yeah, they need to do volume. So it's going to be hard for them. Their pricing is going to go up. So we'll be able to be really competitive against those larger SIs. And it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be really interesting to see how everything shakes out, you know? All right, some zips back here. We have to work on the power supply next, chat. I told my guys I want to stay competitive. AJ knows, Logan know. We're going to stay really competitive this year. We're going to be really competitive. We're going to go on lean on builds. We have a really good team here to build and ship, so we can definitely stay on top of it. I will step up and help the team build even more than we have to, and then if we needed to. Extend hours. You know, I just want to be a really, really reputable and reliable company for the consumers. So I think we have the opportunity to do that here this year with pricing so volatile that we're in a position to actually do well because we're staying honest and transparent with the market. I think the consumer market will probably will bless us, hopefully, you know, and just give us a lot of volume. And then with that volume, we just continue to stay where we are in our lane and just offer really good quality PCs. That is my end goal. That is my end goal. Feed the family, or the people that work for us, build good quality PCs for the consumer. That's what we want to do. All right, so we're working on some zip ties back here for some of these cables, and then we're going to move on to the power supply. How bad it's going to get? Yeah, it's going to get pretty interesting with the bigger guys. They're going to get, I don't know. It's going to be, I was told they're not going to get their POs fulfilled. So I was literally told by people in the space that the larger builders, like the iBuy powers or cyber powers, the volume of they'll need for their margins to get the POs, won't be fulfilled. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that shuffles around, you know? Because they buy on ridiculous amount of volume. In the RAM market, they won't be able to get those POs fulfilled. I don't see this shortage ending anytime in this year, or at least the first 2 quarters of 2026. I think we're going to be looking at RAM shortages into like almost this time next year. I think, from what they're telling me, and the guys that I have they're not trying to make a lot of money. The reps that I have at these companies that we work with, they're not trying to go out and make a ton of money. They're honest and transparent with me. That's all I can ask for. And they're being honest. He's like, it doesn't look good. I mean, you got to think about it. AI is just eating everything up. That's the only thing I can help for war. I see it over on YouTube. Is I really hope the AI bubble bursts. But we're becoming more and more like the end user is becoming more and more like. How do I say it? The word I want to use here. They need it more and more than they should. Like the end user is using it more than they should, more than they need to, and becoming more like they need to rely on it. You know what I mean? That's no bueno. When you have to rely on it to the extent that our population we need to, it just it's no bueno is a good way of saying it. No bueno, no good. How many people do you have working for you right now, Sins? 5 full-time. 5 full-time and some part-timers. We can be a little bit leaner. So we're a leaner company. We have obviously part-time, accounting, stuff like that. Full-time guys, 5. So 1 sales support, 1 customer service manager, 3 builders, and myself. One of our builders does shipping. We also have a part-time person helping logistics and shipping. And we have 2 other guys who can do part-time building. Heck, we could even bring Roddy in. Roddy's like, I'd do Roddy come back and work part-time to build too if we needed it. So we have opportunity. If we tend to grow, we have opportunity to scale. We had to cut back a little bit this past year. This last year was a little bit quieter than usual. End of this year really strong. I would say a lot of, I heard through the grapevine, other people in my space, a lot of other builders were really quiet in we were in October and November until Black Friday season. I think consumer spending was just down tremendously. So people weren't spending a lot of money in those months. So all right. So subscription plans? Yeah, I saw that video. I bought a 64 gig RAM a few months back for $295. The same RAM today is $880. Yeah, it's insane. If you made money if you invested in RAM. If you're using Linux instead of Windows on PC, Lash and PC code for new builds. I mean, some of these Linux GPU drivers actually outperforming Windows drivers. That's crazy. I've seen that a couple of some testing. I was talking with our mods, Carl Ramrod. He works in AI. They've been testing some of the Linux environments, and Linux is just doing really well. All right, here we go, guys. This is our power supply today. Now it's black. It's me behind it. You won't see any of it. This is our MSI 1000 watt GL. Plenty of juice for today's builds. Power cable. We'll have to get some of these out here. The crazy part is today, we only need a PCIe, 12 volt high power, 2 EPS, 24 pin main, and then our that's it. We only need 2, 4, 5, 6 cables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cables. 5 cables, sorry. Which you won't see in any of these cables anyway, but then you go in the back. 12 volt high power, that's for a GPU. Okay. CPU, PCIe, we already extended the cable in. CPU, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then last but not least is our 24 pin main. It's going to the RGB. All these other cables are going in the motherboard box that the customer can have. Then we add SSDs, things like that on the line. He has the opportunity to do so. All right. And that's our 1000 watt GL PCIe Event Gen 2, which is a 3.1 cybernetics rating, which is really good. I need to add this really quick, chat. This is our USB. It's the USB for the AMOLED. There we go. All right. How much is the RAM and SSD in this one? RAM was, he got the RAM right before the pricing went up. I think RAM was like $380 for 64 gigs, or $400 for 64 gigs, give or take. And I think $210 for the Gen 2 drive. So not bad, like $600, and now the RAM itself is like almost $800. It's crazy. So he was able to get in, pricing was good. All right, let's get these cables going. Hello, Mr. Jeff. Love my new Immonomous build. Thanks again. Of course, John Brown. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you're doing well. The loop ended up looking really good. What loop? What are we talking about? I miss it. The loop. On this loop or that loop? I missed it. The only other thing I want to be able to do is actually set up like a desk setup. I actually might build this station behind us over here to look like a desk, potentially a second stream station. That way we can do more photos against that wall, like a full like monitor, be able to put a PC there and stuff like that for like ads and stuff like that. That's the only thing I think about that wall behind us over there. We have the really nice 3D textures, the uplighting. I would like to put like on the desk actually like a monitor and the workstation have like a keyboard so you see the full PC setup. I thought about doing that, just to actually use that space more because we don't use it very often. Other than the photos, we don't use a lot of that space. It just sits there. It's becoming like a storage for me. I have a sign out front, Gaffas. What will be, is RAM with CL40 a big issue? You're definitely running slower. I talked about earlier the RAM, I actually literally had that conversation earlier in chat. The RAM speed things that you notice with lower latency are when you're playing heavier FPS titles, or like maybe say in WoW where you're having like really intense battles. Those FPS drops will be noticeably better on the CL30 where you have lower frame drops. Or like you'll feel like you're not like chugging along as much because of those RAM timings. That CPU is gonna be able to run at its max potential. So that's a really good point for like the faster latency and those instances. Other than that, like it's not horrible. Like basic applications and things like that, you won't really feel it as much. There's our power supply chat. All that's gonna be hidden back here. Don't worry. We're going to hide it so you don't see it. %1 lows, 1% lows, the 0.1%, even the 10% lows will be higher, noticeably higher on faster latency. What do I expect from CES next month? I think we're going to see cases, coolers, fans, motherboards. I think we'll see that type of stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some AMD CPU, GPU stuff. I think AMD's just they're in the like Intel, like these CPUs they've like literally dropped, like mic dropped. We might see something from Intel. I have heard rumors of Intel Vcache, like 3D Vcache, but from Intel. I've heard those rumors. There's been speculation about it. Will we see it? TBD. There's a lot of opportunity for a lot of brands or a lot of companies to really. CES is like show us what you got. You know what I mean? That's literally what it is. Like show us what's coming. You know, it is the biggest opportunity for these brands to really be like, all right, it's what we're doing. You know. All right, get a thick zip here. Thick zip. There you go. Okay. Once prices go up, it takes a long time for prices to drop again. Rip RAM and SSD, yeah. So I said the 2027 is most likely.